Today, we're just going to be doing a little experimenting. We're going to be doing boring ASMR. I'm just going to be reading for the most part, and not your favorite reading material. It'll be a lot of manuals that I have found, and it will be a lot of educational reading as well. So, let's get started. I feel like we can start with ways to develop your linguistic intelligence. Number 1. Join a great book seminar. Number 2. Hold Trivial Pursuit parties. Number 3. Play word games. For example, Scrabble, crosswords. Number 4. Join a book club. Number 5. Attend a writer's conference or a class or workshop on writing through a local college. Number 7. Attend book signings or other events featuring accomplished writers. Number 8. Record yourself speaking into a tape recorder and listen to the playback. Number 9. Go regularly to the library and or bookstores. Excuse me. Subscribe to a high quality newspaper. For example, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and or to a literary magazine, the New Yorker, Grant Street, and read them regularly. Read a book a week. Read a book a week. What is this, number 10? Sorry. Number 10. Read a book a week and develop a personal library. Join a speakers club or prepare an informal 10-minute talk for a business or community event. Number 11. Learn to use a word processor. Number 12. Listen to recordings of famous orators, poets, storytellers, and other speakers. Keep a daily diary or write 250 words a day about anything in mind. We've lost track of what number it is, so we're just going to continue reading. Pay attention to different verbal styles, dialects, slangs, expressions, annotations, vocabularies, and so forth of various people you meet during an average day. Have a regular storytelling time with family or friends. Make up your own jokes, riddles, or puns. Attend a speed reading seminar. Teach an illiterate person to read through a volunteer organization. Memorize favorite poetry or prose passages. Rent, borrow, or buy audio recordings of great literature and listen to them as you commute to work or during other times of the day. Circle unfamiliar words you encounter during your reading and look them up in the dictionary. Buy via Thesaurus, a rhyming dictionary, a book or word origins, and a style manual, and use them regularly in your writing. Go to a storyteller's festival and learn about the art of storytelling. Use one new word in your conversation every day. 25 ways to develop your linguistic intelligence. This was just something that I had in high school, given to me by one of my teachers. Next up, we have wolves. And I think I'm going to whisper for this one. This is a book that I have gotten from Scholastic book fairs way back around 20 years ago. And I still have it. So, let's read it. Once again, this is boring ASMR. So all we're going to be doing is just reading educational materials and manuals and things alike. Things alike. Sorry about that. This is just an experiment for me to see how well this goes. So let's start off with this Scholastic book. In the north, a gray wolf trots across the Alaskan tundra. His slender legs carry him easily. Wolves are travelers, made for long distances. The top speed of a running wolf approaches 30 miles an hour, or 48 kilometers an hour. At a trot, a wolf may cover 20 or 30 miles, up to 48 kilometers in a day, but journeys of more than 100 miles, 161 kilometers, in 24 hours have been reported. The gray wolf, though, is not going so far. The gray wolf, though, is not going so far, not today. He will stay near the den, the summer home of his pack. During this time of year, there are pups to be watched over pups to be cared for and fed. Wolves are social animals. A wolf pack is mostly made up of family. Though a wolf pack might be just a pair of wolves, it can also number a few dozen. Sorry about that. An average wolf weighs somewhere between 80 and 100 pounds, 35 to 45 kilograms. A wolf may measure up to 3 feet, 1 meter tall, to the shoulder, or at the shoulder. At first glance, a wolf looks a lot like a husky dog or a Malamute. Most scientists agree that our dogs are descended from wolves. A long time ago, at least 1200 years, humans began to domesticate wolves. People raised wolf pups and they kept the tamest ones. Very slowly, over thousands of years, the babies of pups raised by humans changed and grew much tamer. The wolves will always be wild animals. Domesticated wolves gradually became the dogs we know today. When he comes to a creek, the gray wolf wades to drink. The paw prints he leaves in the mud seem huge. The wolf shakes the water from his fur and then goes on. The Alaskan tundra is beautiful. There are hills and rocks and grasses and small flowering things, but no tall trees. Just under the ground surface, the soil is frozen. Even in summer, the air is chilly. How's it going? I know I just wanted to try this out. Wanted to test out this boring ASMR. So I am quite a bit early. It is very cold here for humans in the winter, but a wolf can turn around and around to make a bed in snow. He will protect his nose with his bushy tail and go to sleep in temperatures of 30 degrees to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's try that again. This book was written really weird. He will protect his nose with his bushy tail and go to sleep in temperatures of 30 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. There we go. Wolves come in many colors: white, gray, black, tanny, and golden red. In the cold months, the wolves blend in with the winter landscape. When they hunt, they are like ghosts in a world of white. The wolf stops to sniff at a bush to one side of the path. It has served as a scent post for some time. He lifts a leg and leaves his mark. The smell tells the pack he has been here, and it will warn strange wolves away. Scientists call this scent marking. In the last hour, the wolf has eaten a number of mice, voles, and lemmings he chased, but didn't catch a swift-footed Arctic hare. On his way back to the den, the wolf's ears prick forward. He pounces on a mouse. The pups are happy to see him. They whimper and lick at the big wolf's mouth. In response, he throws up or regurgitates some partly digested meat. In the wild, animals often must bring food home in their bellies. The wolf's mate is the color of coffee. Her eyes are very bright. They touch noses. She is 5 years old. The male is 6. 3 more young wolves form the pack, all pups from seasons before. Whining, tails wagging, they greet their father. Wolves howl in a way that is almost like singing. They yip, yap, whimper, whine, and bark. Wolves talk or communicate in other ways too, with scent marking and with the way they move their bodies. A wolf might wiggle and wag in an invitation to play, or he may roll over on his back to show he means no harm. This kind of communication is often called body language. Each wolf has a special place in the pack. The leader is usually a male, and the other wolves in the pack will follow him as they hunt, as they eat, and in play. It is the leader's mate who chooses the site for the den, and the other wolves will stay nearby. For the first 2 or 3 years of their lives, young wolves remain with their pack. Then they may go off to find mates and start families of their own. Once there were wolves all across North America. You are probably living in a place where wolves once roamed. Back then, there were great herds of caribou. In the Northlands to the south were moose and elk and deer and bison on the plains. Wolves hunted these animals, and so did Native Americans, though they sometimes hunted wolves and used wolf fur for clothing. Many of their stories show wolves as equals, as powerful spirits, as friends, and as teachers. When the European colonists came to North America, they brought different ideas about land and about wolves. They built houses and barns. They built pens to keep their farm animals or livestock in. They killed wolves to keep their animals safe. Sorry, I just bumped the microphone. Over time, the new settlers slowly tamed the land, as cows and horses and sheep replaced bison and deer. As fences began to mark the places where one person owned this and another that, the wilderness was changed forever. It became at last the 2 towns and farms and cities we know today. When wolves could no longer hunt native animals, they turned to hunting livestock. Then people hunted wolves. They caught wolves in steel traps. Wolves were shot or they were poisoned. Other animals ate the poison and died too. Foxes, coyotes, badgers, bears, eagles, ravens, and more. Wolves were killed to protect livestock, and wolves were also killed for their fur, which it was made into warm clothing. Wolf hunters collected bounties. They were paid for each wolf that they killed. All across America, wolves were dying out. They disappeared from the east and almost completely from the south. The plains wolves and western Sorry. Just 1 second. There. Just had to wait for that door to close. Let's start over again. All across America, wolves were dying out. They disappeared from the east and almost completely from the south. The plains wolves and western packs vanished in many parts of the country. Wolves were seriously endangered. By the mid-1900s, wolves lived only in Alaska and in the northern woods of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Got a little thrown off there. Just when it seemed wolves might be killed off altogether, people's ideas began to change. Scientists studied wolves and they learned more about keeping the balance of the hunters to the hunted, of predators to prey. Wolves are predators, predators are hunters, and must eat meat to survive. Meat eaters are also called carnivores. The animals they hunt are known as prey. Predators are part of the natural balance, but the wolves in America were almost gone. So laws were passed in the United States to help native wildlife. One of the most important was the Endangered Species Act of 1973. This law made it a crime to trap or kill certain animals, including the wolves in the lower 48 states. The laws also tried to protect the places where animals live, like the Alaskan tundra, and to maintain the balance of life in areas of wilderness. It took many years, but wolves were finally brought back to a few places like Yellowstone National Park, on the border where Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming meet. Wolves have lived free in Yellowstone since 1995. For the most part, they have done what wildlife experts expected. The wolves have hunted deer and elk and bison and killed the weakest animals. The stronger, healthier animals lived on. It may be too early to tell, but perhaps the balance is being restored there. In the meantime, far away, the gray wolf raises his head to howl. It is time for the pack to hunt. When winter comes, the pups will become almost grown. They will travel with the pack. They will learn to track caribou and to hunt and to curl up to keep warm in the snow. They'll howl with the others. They'll learn to sing. I think I'm gonna need a drink of water after that. We're gonna get into even more boring stuff here in 1 second. Let me just get something to drink. Now I have this creative calligraphy, and I'm not going to read all of it, but just bits and pieces. It's an instructional book on how to write calligraphy. It's got this cool little spine that I want to test out before we get to reading. That's harder to do than I thought. Here, let me find a good angle. Let's read a little bit of this. This stream won't be too long because this is just an experiment that I'm doing. It would be fun to read some of the type that the calligraphy artist wrote. We'll see how that goes. Forth from his den, to steal he stole, his bags of chink he chunk, and many a wicked smile he smole, and many a wink he wunk. The long-maned croc and the womble-doo like to keep their tummies cool. They stand in mud all day and night, and laugh and sing with all their might. Squid slop, blurp glop, he. Let's see if we can find another one. Why won't he taste the cooked slugs and insects, which lived on clean vegetable matter, but eat lobsters, which will have consumed rotting fish flesh, too putrid even for a crab to touch? Tortoise was tired of spending all her time in the same way out of the way. Let's try that again. This is really small writing, so let me just... Tortoise was tired of spending all her time in the same out-of-the-way place. She decided that she wanted to visit foreign parts. Two crows, who were her friends, offered to help. They told her that if she gripped the middle of a pole with her mouth, they would take the two ends in their feet and carry her where she wished to go. Tortoise thought this was a good plan. Give me a second. I'll try to be more mature about this. Give me a second. Tortoise thought this was a good plan and went home. I'm sorry. I know. I was trying not to laugh. But it's like the harder that you try not to laugh, the more that your body wants to laugh. So I just had to just let it out. Let's try this one more time. I can't finish the story. I can't finish the story. Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to just end it right here after this. I do the best I can. The very best I know how. And I aim to keep doing so. God damn it. Okay. I have to end it. I really have to. I really have to end it. Let's see. Maybe this will calm me down. I'm hoping it will. I think I got most of what I wanted anyways. I just wanted to test this out. To see. Actually, you know what? We'll do one more. I didn't even get to any of the manuals yet. I wanted to see what it would sound like if I read some of these manuals online. I want to find a lot of just boring material to read on stream and do this maybe like once a month. Do just a boring sorry, a boring stream. that good, but I do like the page flipping. In this manual. Threw out a lot of my manuals for things, so let's do this. Precautions. When you first open the complete set microphone, the arm will pop out like waving, so please hold both arms and slowly open. Please do not directly clamp on the glass table or expensive wood table. You can add a few rubber rings or wet cloths on a desk to clip to increase the skid resistance and protect your furniture. There is a plastic adapter that comes with a shock mount, which suit for the Blue Yeti, Snowball, and mostly mics. This one is attached to the shock mount, which may not be so easy to disassemble separately. Grooves on the surface of the adapter are designed to unscrew by tools. If you find any missing parts in the package, please contact our after-sales team via email or your order as soon as possible. We will solve it for you as soon as possible. Okay, I have to end it because I just want to keep laughing. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've just been got into I was just so laughing. But before I do, I kind of want to get some of this on stream, so that when I go back, I can re-listen to it, adjust some of the audio. And what doesn't work to help improve it for you guys. I apologize for the laughing. I promise I'll be more professional next time around. This is a surprise stream